The NFL is trying to absolutely screw the Chiefs over, and in this video, I'm going to explain why this is the case, and I'm also going to talk about how the Chiefs could possibly avoid it. But if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy, and you're watching the KC Sports Report. Do me a big time favor and hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more daily Chiefs coverage. So we got a report a couple days ago from Adam Schefter that Rashee Rice was likely not going to be suspended to start the season. And I, like most Chiefs fans, took this as great news. But as time goes on and we learn more about the situation, Rice's suspension being delayed until that September 30th hearing might not be the best, possible outcome. And I want to preface this video by saying that Rashee Rice should absolutely be suspended for his actions in the Dallas street racing incident. He changed multiple people's lives. He was careless. He was stupid. There's no denying that. He should be punished, and the NFL is going to suspend him. But we just got an update from Tom Pelissero that the NFL initially proposed a double-digit game suspension, a possible 10-game suspension for Rashee Rice. Ladies and gentlemen, if that does not piss you off, I don't know what does. And for everyone in the comment section, whether it is, a Chiefs hater watching this video or someone that wants the NFL to throw the book at Rashee Rice, I'm going to ask you this. What should the punishment be for someone who, gets found to be, accused of domestic violence or a situation that is significantly worse than Rashee Rice's incident? Again, there's no excusing what he did. Careless, stupid. Rashee Rice was just an idiot to be in that position. But possibly being suspended 10 games after you didn't get suspended all in 2024 when that incident happened that previous offseason, the fact that we're talking about a double-digit suspension in 2025 is a little bit ridiculous. And let me just throw these numbers out at you because I think that you kind of need to know what NFL suspension policies are like and, what guys have done to deserve certain punishments. Deshaun Watson, that guy, the controversy that I don't even have to talk about, all of the allegations, the dozens of allegations of women coming out and speaking against him. Deshaun Watson got 11 games. 11 games. Justin Tucker, more allegations of similar issues involving massage parlors. Guess what? The NFL gave him 10 games. Okay, so even though that Justin Tucker and Deshaun Watson haven't been criminally prosecuted, they, I think, both had to settle civil suits. Again, this is all just coming back from my memory, but 11 games for Deshaun Watson and 10 games for Justin Tucker. And you might be wondering, okay, that's an extreme example. That's involving, not domestic violence, but there's plenty of guys that, are dealing with domestic violence stuff and they don't get suspended as long as 10 games. I mean, maybe 4, maybe 6, but these alleged predators got 11 and 10 games. They want to give Rashee Rice 10 games. And you might be wondering, okay, let's try to find a driving-related incident. Jordan Addison, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, just got suspended 3 games in the 2025 season for a DUI arrest. He was arrested, driving under the influence. I believe he actually fell asleep in his car. Nonetheless, Jordan Addison got 3 games. And they want to hit Rashee Rice with a 10-game suspension, a double-digit game suspension. I cannot fathom that the NFL is doing this. There is no precedent for what they're about to do to Rashee Rice. And I think that that's why this case is so baffling because, we've seen stuff happen with, domestic violence, and there's kind of a game suspension rate, I guess you could say. Like, most of the time they're gone from, 6 to 8 games. If it's a serious incident, maybe 12, maybe a season. Rashee Rice was stupid, careless, injured. I guess, I don't know if he injured someone, but put the lives of people in jeopardy. Was careless, stupid, walked away from the crime. I personally cannot agree with the 10-game sentence. I just can't. A year later, and we're talking about 10 games for Rashee Rice, who up until this point, after that incident, has been a model citizen in the community. And this is a perfect example of Roger Goodell and the NFL trying to screw the Chiefs. When this first came out, when the news first hit that Rashee Rice was likely not going to be suspended because, or I guess not be suspended to start the season, you saw all the other fan bases come out and just, give the NFL so much criticism because the Chiefs are getting away with it again. Well, guess what? Roger Goodell and the NFL is trying to send a message with this Rashee Rice incident. And I understand that the Rice incident involved kids, and the NFL does not F around with that. But the fact that there is no precedent, they're trying to use Rashee Rice's case to set a precedent. They want to come down hard on the Chiefs because they're the Chiefs, and there's a lot of national attention on them. And I'm sorry, guys, but 10 games, that is not a worthy crime for this guy in 2025. If we're talking, last year and this, got to the point where they, were able to come to a decision on a suspension, I still wouldn't have agreed with 10 games, but it would have made more sense. We are almost, I don't want to say almost 2 years, but a year and a half removed from this incident, and we're talking about punishing him at the same rate of alleged, I want to use the word alleged, predators. I just don't understand. But I do want to talk more about this situation because there's actually one opportunity for him to be suspended fewer games, and I want to talk about that right after this ad break. This video is sponsored by the great people over at DM Injury Law. Injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but you gotta act fast. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, so no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on recovery. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. Huge thanks to the sponsors that have supported this channel all off-season long. Now, getting back into this video, listen, Rashee Rice is probably going to be suspended anywhere from weeks 4 to 5, and the suspension length, that's unknown. Like I said in the beginning of this video, he has not a court date, but a meeting date on September 30th with the NFL judge who, I can pull that name up right now, Sue Robinson. He's going to talk with Sue Robinson, who I believe is the attorney for the NFL, like a median party, and she is going to decide the suspension. Now, initially, Deshaun Watson got a 6-game suspension, and when they appealed it to Sue Robinson, it became an 11-game suspension. And so the NFL wanting, a massive suspension on Rice, they want, double-digit games, they're going to bring it down. I'm still expecting this to be anywhere from 6 to 8, but the fact is that he's going to be suspended way longer than we thought, and it happening in the middle of the season is not the best case scenario for this Chiefs team. Like, just point blank simple, the Chiefs would have loved this to happen and he gets suspended to start the season, because then it's over. Then Rashee Rice is, serving his time, he's suspended, and he will be back on this date. We don't know when that date is going to be. We don't know how long he's going to be suspended. And guess what? The further they kick this can down the road, the more worried I get that this might come around the playoffs. And guess what? That is, worst case scenario. If Rashee Rice gets suspended mid to late in the season and it's a lengthy suspension and so he misses, the postseason, that can't happen. That just absolutely can't happen. But I think that, again, with there not being a precedent in this situation, the NFL is trying to, really, make an example out of Rashee Rice. And one way that this whole situation could be resolved is if Rice, his attorney, and the NFLPA try to, settle this before the hearing, and they just say, you know what, we'll do this, and kind of they both work together and they get, agree upon a suspension before that meeting is scheduled. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure. And so while everyone was freaking out that, yay, Rashee Rice is going to be able to play the first couple weeks of the season, and that his meeting got, set for around week 4, week 5, it seems to be that the reason that meeting got set for that date is because they could not agree upon a suspension, and they needed to go to mediation and have Sue Robinson step in and, tell us what's going on. But this is a crazy situation, guys. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. What do you think? I think the NFL is trying to screw the Chiefs over and trying to come down harshly on them when, if we're just looking at it, they've treated alleged predators better than they'd be treating Rashee Rice. And so I do want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. That's all I've got for this video. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily Chiefs content. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.